Imagine a Roman emperor at the height of power, commanding armies, controlling territories, having access to every pleasure life could offer. Now imagine a slave. No freedom, no possessions, treated as property. Which one would you expect to be happier and more resilient? Here's what might surprise you. The slave became one of history's most influential philosophers, while the emperor struggled with constant depression and anxiety. The slave was Epictetus, the emperor was Marcus Aurelius, and both discovered the same secret to inner peace. If you want to develop an invincible mind that stays calm even in chaos, you need to learn how to think like a Stoic. Today, I'm going to teach you the fundamental principles of Stoicism, not as academic philosophy, but as a practical toolkit for modern life. You'll learn why this 2,000-year-old philosophy conquered everyone from slaves to emperors, and how you can use these insights today to build genuine emotional resilience. By the end of these 10 minutes, you'll have a set of mental tools that Stoics use to maintain inner peace even in the worst circumstances. And if you've been following our journey of practical wisdom, I'd love for you to subscribe to the channel. We're building a community of people who want real mental strength, not just superficial positive thinking. So let's dive in. What does it really mean to think like a Stoic? The most fundamental principle of Stoicism is what Epictetus called the dichotomy of control. He divided absolutely everything in life into two categories. Category 1, things you can control: your thoughts, your actions, your reactions, your choices, your values. Category 2, things you cannot control: other people, the past, the future, external events, final outcomes, others' opinions. Death Epictetus said, "You are an actor in a play. Your job is not to choose the role, but to play it as well as possible." Here's the insight that changes everything. 99% of your suffering comes from trying to control things in Category 2. You get frustrated with traffic, can't control. Worry about what others think, can't control. Anguish about the future, can't control. The Stoics realized that peace comes not from controlling external circumstances, but from mastering your responses to those circumstances. The Stoics had a simple but revolutionary mental exercise. Every time you feel disturbed, ask these questions. 1. Is this in my zone of control? If it's not, why are you spending mental energy on it? 2. Is my reaction helping or making the situation worse? Getting angry at traffic won't make cars move faster. 3. What can I control right now? There's always something, even if it's just your attitude. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his personal journal, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." He was reminding himself, the most powerful man in the world, that even emperors don't control everything. This isn't about being passive or giving up. It's about strategically focusing your energy where it can actually make a difference. The first pillar of Stoic thinking is wisdom, specifically the wisdom to accept reality as it is, not as you wish it were. This doesn't mean being passive or giving up. It means stopping the waste of energy fighting against facts that have already happened or circumstances you cannot change. Practical example: you lost your job. Non-Stoic thinking: this shouldn't have happened. It's not fair. My life is ruined. Stoic thinking: this happened. It's the current reality. What opportunities does this new situation create? How can I use this to grow? Seneca put it brilliantly. We cannot choose our external obstacles, but we can always choose how we respond to them. Stoic wisdom teaches you there's a fundamental difference between pain and suffering. Pain is inevitable. It's what life brings us. Suffering is optional. It's our resistance to pain. When you accept what is, you free up mental energy to focus on what you can actually do about the situation. Acceptance isn't surrender, it's strategic clarity. The second pillar is justice, not in the legal sense, but in the sense of personal integrity. It's acting according to your values, regardless of circumstances. Stoics believed you can only control your own actions, so those actions must reflect your highest principles, not your momentary emotions. Practical example: someone was rude to you. Emotional reaction: be rude back, talk badly about them, seek revenge. Stoic response: maintain your dignity, respond with civility, don't let others' behavior dictate yours. Marcus Aurelius wrote, The best revenge is not to be like your enemy. You act with integrity not because others deserve it, but because you deserve to live according to your values. If this perspective is making sense, I'd be grateful if you hit that like button. It helps more people discover this ancient wisdom. Stoic. Justice also means taking responsibility for your part in any situation, not blaming or playing victim, but asking, how can I respond in a way that's true to my principles? This isn't about being a doormat. It's about maintaining your character regardless of how others act. The third pillar is courage. Not just physical bravery, but emotional and moral courage. The ability to do what's right even when it's difficult. Stoics viewed difficulties not as punishments, but as opportunities to train virtue. Every obstacle is a chance to practice wisdom, justice, courage, or self-control. Fundamental Stoic exercise. The obstacle as the way. Every time you encounter a difficulty, ask, how can this challenge strengthen me? What virtue can I practice in this situation? How can I use this to become a better person? Marcus Aurelius summarized, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Your problems aren't distractions from your growth. They're the method by which you grow. Stoic courage also means facing the reality of mortality. Stoics practiced memento mori, remembering death, not to become depressed, but to live with more intensity and purpose. When you remember that life is finite, you stop wasting time on petty concerns and focus on what truly matters. The fourth pillar is temperance, self-control, especially over your emotional reactions. Stoics weren't emotionless robots. They felt anger, fear, sadness, but they didn't let these emotions control their decisions. Stoic technique, pause before reaction. 1. Feel the emotion, acknowledge what's happening. 2. Pause, create space between stimulus and response. 3. Ask, how would my wisest self respond? 4. Choose your reaction based on reason, not emotion. Epictetus taught, it's not events that disturb us, but our interpretation of events. You can't control what happens, but you can always control the meaning you give to what happens. Stoic temperance teaches you that you don't need to react to everything. Not every comment deserves a response. Not every provocation deserves a reaction. Sometimes, the most powerful action is not acting. This isn't suppression. It's conscious choice. You're not bottling up emotions. You're choosing which emotions deserve to drive your actions. Here's your practical takeaway. 5 Stoic exercises you can use immediately. 1. Morning. Preparation for the day. 2 minutes. Before leaving home, mentally rehearse possible challenges. Not to become anxious, but to prepare mentally. If this happens, I will respond with calm and wisdom. 2. Throughout the day. The 3-question test. Whenever you feel disturbed, can I control this? Is my reaction helping? What can I do now? 3. Evening. Stoic review. 3 minutes. Before sleep, review the day. Where did I lose control? What did I do well? How can I improve tomorrow? 4. In difficulties, the obstacle is the way. Transform every problem into a question. How can this strengthen me? What virtue can I practice? 5. In conflicts, the Stoic pause. Take a deep breath and ask, how would my wisest self respond? Then act from wisdom, not emotion. These aren't just mental exercises. They're practical tools that build emotional resilience over time. Remember, Stoicism isn't about suppressing emotions or passively accepting injustices. It's about building an inner fortress that remains stable even when everything around you is in chaos. You can't control whether it will rain, but you can choose how to respond to the rain. You can't control if people will treat you badly, but you can control whether you'll let that destroy your peace. The goal isn't a life without problems. It's a life with wise responses to problems. The Stoics understood something profound. External events have only the power over you that you give them. Your boss can fire you, but they can't make you bitter. Traffic can delay you, but it can't steal your peace unless you let it. Here's my question for you. What area of your life most needs Stoic thinking? Where have you been wasting energy trying to control the uncontrollable? Share in the comments. Sometimes naming the problem is the first step to applying the Stoic solution. And if this video gave you practical tools for a stronger mind, I'd be so grateful if you'd subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. Next week, we're exploring the biblical art of letting go. It's going to be transformational. Until then, remember, you have more control over your life than you think, but only over the right parts. Peace and strength.